Yo, what is up, guys? XRP is at $1.09 right now on CoinMarketCap. Our first tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Just in, Clarity Act Senate floor vote to come next week, says former CFTC commissioner. It's happening this year. Our next tweet comes from Bank XRP. Clarity Act at the 1 yard line. Blockchain Association CEO Summer Mersinger says vote could come as early as next week. 60 votes needed for closure. Ethics language Dems wanted is still missing from the merge draft. Closest crypto market structure has ever gotten. Let's watch this video.
Before they can go to a vote. Expecting a vote next week, probably early next week. So, and that will really be, that's kind of the test, to see if we've got 60 votes to invoke cloture on the motion. So we're at the, I'm like, we're at the 10-yard, we're at the 1 yard line right now. And I feel like we can get it across the finish line.
Smash that subscribe button and hit that like button if you believe XRP will reach $3 again this year. Our next tweet comes from Ripple Zitty. Just in, Grayscale highlights Ripple's partnerships with MasterCard, JP Morgan, OKX, and Ondo Finance. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Huge. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says about the Clarity Act. When people are at their peak frustration, that's when they find a compromise and get it done. I think we're there. Next week could be massive. Let's watch this video.
I think what happened 2 weeks ago with the SEC and CFTC coming together with a joint statement was truly groundbreaking in a bunch of ways. And from my point of view, it ended an era of lawfare against this industry, which turns out didn't have the support of what the law actually said. So I think that was profound. But I also think we have to recognize that without codified legislative permanence, you still have the risk that the next version of the SEC comes back to Gensler's unlawful war on crypto. And I think that's bad for the United States. I think it's bad policy. It's also bad politics. And what we've seen certainly as we come up to midterms is being anti-crypto doesn't get you any votes. There's a lot of people who care about this industry, who are directly or indirectly involved. And I think that's why some of the voter education in the last cycle was impactful. So I am still optimistic the Clarity Act. I think it does still matter despite the CFTC and SEC coming together. I think the time is now. I would say I'm probably not quite as optimistic as I once was, but some of the smartest people and Washington insiders that I know have said to me, when people are at their peak frustration, that's when they finally compromise and it gets done. I think we're there.
Our next tweet comes from the Crypto Squire, Bank of America and Ripple. Reports claim Bank of America now represents 7.5% of Ripple's treasury liquidity. If confirmed, it would be another sign that major financial institutions continue strengthening their ties with Ripple. The institutional era is just getting started. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Ripple director has revealed that financial titans like MasterCard, BlackRock, and Franklin Templeton are showing interest in the XRP ledger. All these institutions are waiting for regulatory green light. The Clarity Act will fix this. Let's watch this video.
Well, what does this mean for XRP holders? Do you think it's like a bet on XRP is a bet on this infrastructure for the future?
I think that, first of all, the important thing to remember is the XRP ledger is an L1 decentralized protocol where the XRP is the bridge currency to complete a lot of the transaction and a lot of the settlements that are taking place on it. So it's kind of like, before you look at it, one way to look at it obviously is an asset you hold, but from the other side, it is an extremely essential functional pillar within the wider XRPL ecosystem and with the ever-increasing list of use cases, products, and offerings that are being developed for the financial service world.
Okay, can you sort of give us some sort of example? Right, there's been a lot of big names, Visa, MasterCard, BlackRock, we've had Franklin Templeton, all in the building over the past 2 days. Are they showing an interest in XRP Ledger?
Absolutely. The XRP Ledger, again, was designed from inception to support different use cases around cross-asset transfer and payment.
Wow.
So there was, I think, one of the first ledger that was launched, like I said, in 2012, from inception to support this industry. So it has a lot of features that are pre-embedded on the native protocol level that support enterprise-grade use cases, whether this is the pre-built AMM, the pre-built DEX, the ongoing long list of additional product roadmap that we have to support KYC aspect, to support trust lines.
Yeah, well, they like that, isn't it? So from the foundational building of this, you're kind of possibly working within regulatory frameworks or within sort of the prospect of future working with regulatory frameworks.
Absolutely. This is the blockchain built for the financial service.
Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Huge news. 50 out of 52 Republicans will vote in favor of the Clarity Act. Next week will be massive. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Clarity Act update. The Clarity Act would prevent any elected official from issuing or promoting a digital asset. Let's watch this video.
Hey, Carl. Well, yeah, look, Senate leadership, they really want to have a vote on this rules of the road crypto bill in the next few weeks before they break for their August recess. Big question right now, whether they're going to be able to get enough Democratic support to pass. And that is increasingly hinging on whether the bill is going to put in place some strict limits on the president's ability to profit from crypto. Now, Democrats, they've been pushing for this ethics language for months, but it's become even more pressing just in the last few weeks when President Trump's financial disclosures showed him making roughly $1.2 billion from crypto-related ventures alone during his first year in office. I spoke yesterday with Senator Mark Warner. He supports the goals of the broader bill, but he said that it is critical for lawmakers to limit the ability for elected officials, including the president, to profit from crypto.
The president has made billions in his family off of this. We're going to suddenly go forward and say, and elected officials can take advantage of that situation going forward. I think that would be pretty outrageous.
Senator Bernie Moreno, who met with Trump yesterday on the bill, said it would prevent any elected official, including the president, from issuing or promoting a digital asset, although it would not apply that restriction to other members of the family, including, of course, Trump's family. The lawmakers are still negotiating over the language of the bill. An updated draft was expected this week, but has yet to be made public. And of course, guys, as we know, the devil's always in the details. So we're keeping a close eye out for that to see how Democrats and industry respond and exactly what kind of vote we might expect later this month or in early August.
Our next tweet comes from the Crypto Square. Clarity at a crossroads. The path to 60 Senate votes is getting tougher. According to comments highlighted by Charles Schwab, the debate is no longer just about XRP and crypto. It's also about politics and ethics. The next few days could be decisive. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Wow. U.S. Senator Mark Warner comments on the Clarity Act. I want this done. I'm tired of being in crypto hell. I want America to lead in digital assets. It needs to be done until August 7 before August recess. Let's watch this video.
Because I do want you to hear this. As one bipartisan group still trying to get a Clarity Act done. We touched on this briefly. You would not want a Clarity Act that increased the ability of illicit finance to take place suddenly with the blessings of law, would you?
Well, thank you, Senator. I mean, it's vital that the Clarity Act provide tools.
Could you speak a little closer?
It's vital that the Clarity Act provide rules and tools for the Treasury Department and the administration to be able to counter illicit finance.
So you would be concerned if the Trump Department of Justice, with technical assistance, said that the standard proposed by industry and some of my Republican colleagues would actually make it easier for illicit finance to take place. This has just happened in the last couple of days. That would concern you, wouldn't it?
It would be concerning, yes, Senator.
Good. I tend to work with you and the Secretary. I want this done, and I am tired of being in crypto hell. But we got to do it in a way that doesn't make this circumstance worse. I want America to lead in digital assets. But if we get it wrong, the downside ramifications could be huge as well.
Our next tweet comes from the Crypto Square. Loomis pushes again. Senator Cynthia Loomis says that if something is truly decentralized, it shouldn't be regulated like a bank. She also says it took years of work to reach this point and urges Congress to pass the Clarity Act. Clear rules build stronger markets. Our next tweet comes from Bank XRP. Senator Warner's blunt take on the Clarity Act negotiations. I want America to lead in digital assets, but if we get it wrong, the downside ramifications could be huge. Still committed to getting it done, just not at any cost. Clarity Act stakes just got real. Let's watch this video.
It would be concerning, yes, Senator.
Good. I tend to work with you and the Secretary. I want this done, and I am tired of being in crypto hell. But we got to do it in a way that doesn't make this circumstance worse. I want America to lead in digital assets. But if we get it wrong, the downside ramifications could be huge as well. I also want to hit you with...
Our next tweet comes from Smoke DQG. Regulation clarity is advancing with or without legislation. Documented. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Today, the Genius Act celebrates its one-year anniversary. Fed Chair Kevin Warsh says the Genius Act will be implemented across U.S. banks within days. We are racing to put that out by this deadline this Saturday. Let's watch this video.
A year ago on Saturday, the Genius Act was signed into law. And with that, a series of deadlines for rules to be promulgated began, and the clock began to tick. You came into your job confirmed approximately 2 months ago. The deadline for the Fed to promulgate rules is this Saturday. Will the Fed meet that deadline?
Well, it's a fair and open question. I have been corrected. I've not been in the job 6 weeks, but 7. We're racing to put that out by this deadline. I'll just add one other thing, Congressman, without taking too much of your time. I think rulemakings from the bank regulators are best when we have a family fight between and among us, so that there would be one proposed rulemaking for comment. It might not be exactly true this time, but that's my objective, that we'd be coordinated in issuing our rulemakings at the same moment.
I appreciate that. I think from this body, I think there's a huge opportunity with stablecoin, in particular, to make sure that consumers are protected. That was one of the drivers of us passing that legislation. There's a lot of work to be done. You're new in your new role with the Fed, but we would like to be updated if, in fact, that deadline is not made. And then, in fact, when those rules will be promulgated.
Real quick, if this helped, press the like button. It tells YouTube to show this to people who want the truth, not hype. And press the subscribe button if you're done being sold the moon. I've already got your next one right here. Go.